Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Susah sebab ngadak tu. Masih lagi ngadak tu. Okay, today we'll look into this topic, sea and air transport. So this topic is actually a specialized industry because we are looking at sea and air. BISA, remember you have banking, insurance, shipping and airlines. BISA, banking, insurance, shipping and airlines. So what we're looking at, the shipping and airlines lah sekarang. So under BISA, right, the income of a resident company will be assessed on a world scope basis. So when I say it's a world scope basis, it means that income is taxable in Malaysia based on wherever income is derived, tax in Malaysia. So because it's a Malaysian resident company, so kita akan tax dia on a world scope basis. Why world scope basis? Of course, because of the nature of the businesses. For example, sea, air, they move around the world. Alright, so kita tak boleh nak tax, okay, income derived in Malaysia je. No, because they derive income from everywhere. So that's why kita pakai world scope basis. Alright, similarly with banking and insurance, because of the borderless sekarang ni, online everything. So we are going to tax them also on a world scope basis. Yeah, so bila you tengok sea and air transport ni, of course first thing is that you have to look at the nature or the resident status of the company. Alright, we have two types here, shipping and airlines. So kita tengok whether the company itself is a resident or non-resident company. If the company is a resident company, for shipping, alright, is exempted. Maknanya shipping company ni, if you fulfill certain criteria, then the income of the shipping company, wherever derived, alright, is exempted. So you don't have to pay tax. Yeah, but for airlines, kalau is a resident company, then kita akan pakai world scope basis. So whatever income derived, kita akan tax in Malaysia lah. But for if the company is a non-resident company, alright, for example, you're talking about looking at airlines, for example, kita ada Qatar, Emirates, all this. So bila dia non-resident, so dia is a non-resident company in Malaysia lah, right? So when it's a non-resident company, kita akan tax you on income derived in Malaysia. Yes. Kalau non-resident, sebab apa? Sebab dia non-resident, so kita akan tax you on income you derive in Malaysia je lah. So kalau you derive in somewhere else, kita tak akan tax you. Right, kita akan tax you on income derived in Malaysia. So how you say is derived in Malaysia, later you see that kalau shipping airline ni kita akan tengok income yang generated or derived business tu, for example, a ship out from Malaysia. Alright, or maknanya dia transport outwards lah rather than inwards. Maknanya dia terbang masuk Malaysia tak kira. Tapi dia bawa passenger dari Malaysia outside, then it can be taxable. So that's how we see it's derived in Malaysia. Right, but ini only for non-resident purpose lah, non-resident person. And in terms of the method of tax computation, non-resident tu kita akan pakai 5% method or the ratio certificate method. Yeah, but for resident, kalau shipping is exempted. So bila exempted, kenapa nak tahu? But still you kena compute juga, sebab bila exempted maknanya income tu is exempted. Tapi you nak tahu berapa banyak income exempted. What is the statutory income? Exempted. Sebab when income is exempted from tax, the income will be credited into exempt account. So from the exempt account, company boleh declare 2-tier dividend. Dulu kita pernah belajar masa tax incentive kan. Dividend, bila dia declare dividend, maknanya exempt dividend. So maknanya as a shareholder, dividend yang dapat tu is exempt from tax. So you don't have to pay tax. So what you get is everything lah. Tak ada tax deduction kat situ. Yeah. Of course, shipping, walaupun dia exempted, you still have to do the computation because to decide how much is the exempt income. On top of that, alright, kita akan tax you on the shipping income from shipping. But sometimes shipping company ni dia juga ada income, dia ada dividend, dia ada interest, alright. Dia maybe ada rental, I do not know, alright. But dia ada other income juga. So the one yang exempted is from the shipping business. But other income is taxable, so you still have to do the computation. Faham? Okay. The next one is the airlines. So airlines pun dia tak ada exemption. So mana you kena kira lah berapa dia punya tax liability or the chargeable income. Yeah. Right. The next one is on the basis of taxation. I mentioned earlier, resident is work income basis. Non-resident bill will be on a derivation basis. Alright, so bila income is derived in Malaysia, dan kita akan tengok macam mana nak kira dia. Satu ada method dia, 5% method. The other one is the ratio method. Ya. Income from transporting business is computed as a separate and distinct business of that person. Maknanya, kalau you ada transportation, for example, in the case of shipping and airline, so ada transportation itself. So that one is one business. But other income will be treated as a different business. Yeah, so separately assessed. Okay, so now coming back to Malaysian ship. Yeah, so because what happened is that kalau dia fulfill the definition, if the ship, ingat kita tengok pasal topik shipping. Kalau ship tu is a Malaysian ship, then income is exempted. But how do you know whether it's a Malaysian ship? You kena tengok definition dia. Dia kata Malaysian ship is a sea-going ship registered under the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952. Alright, however, it excludes any ferry, barge, tugboat, supply vessel, crew boat, lighter, dredger, fishing boat or other similar vessel lah. So kita tak nampak lah benda-benda yang kecil-kecil ni. Kita nampak the ship yang besar tu. Alright, either dia bawa passengers or cargo. Yeah, so this is, so maknanya for you to get exemption, it must be a Malaysian ship. Apa maksud Malaysian ship? Sea-going ship. Maknanya benda tu mestilah sea-going. Kalau mana in between sungai-sungai, no. Alright, mereka kata sea-going ship, maknanya dia, and then it must be sea-going lah. Maknanya tak adalah dia tak, you ada ship, Malaysian ship, tapi benda tu in Malaysia only tak bergerak-gerak, you cannot juga. Right? It has to be a sea-going ship and then it must be registered under Merchant Shipping Ordinance. Sometimes you have the ship yang sea-going tapi not registered. Alright, so you kena fulfill that definition, then only the income is exempted. But kalau ada ferry ke other than that, other than ship tu, you tak boleh lah claim sebab that doesn't fall under definition of a Malaysian ship. Alright. Casual call, section 54(6) for non-resident only lah. Casual call ni maknanya kalau ada request, alright. I do not know lah how the business is, alright, shipping and air transport ni, alright. But dia panggil casual call ni maknanya ada calls from any of the airline or the shipping company, alright. So dia minta datang ambil ke apa. So that one is what we call a casual call lah, yeah. And then in this case, person under this definition include partnership. Selalunya partnership yang kita belajar masa tax 1 dulu, partnership ada dua. One is the conventional partnership, another one is the limited liability partnership. So LLP memang taxable person, tapi partnership itself is not a taxable person. The taxable person is the partners of the partnership. So that's why bila kita buat taxcom dulu, partnership kita ikut compute the individual, the partners punya income. Alright, the statutory income of the partners from the partnership. Partnership itself is not a taxable person. But in the case of shipping here, includes a partnership. So kalau partnership, maknanya dia still chargeable to tax lah on the shipping income. But if they fulfill Malaysian ship, then income is exempted. Right. Exemption of shipping profit, alright, exemption of shipping income from Malaysian ship, the person must be a person resident in Malaysia, and then business there must be transporting passenger or cargo by sea on a Malaysian ship, or you let out on a charter a Malaysian ship owned by the person on a voyage or time charter basis. Maknanya one is that you have a Malaysian ship, the other one you have also Malaysian ship, tapi instead of you transport cargo or passenger, you let out. Alright, dia rentalkan lah benda tu. So dia boleh still get exemption, alright, on the rental income tu lah. But rental income tu must be business income lah. Yeah, so the rental income will be exempted from tax juga. Yeah, because that is a qualifying business. The exempt income is 100% on SI. So bila kata SI, you kena kira lah daripada adjusted income or from gross income, compute adjusted income, and then compute statutory income. So the format is still the same lah. Yeah. So statutory income is exempt from tax. But in order for you to compute SI, kan daripada gross income, tolak allowable expenses, dapat adjusted income. From adjusted income minus your capital allowance. Right. So bila you cakap pasal if the income is exempted, maknanya capital allowance ni kan is an option to you to claim or not. Tapi bila income is exempted, alright, you tak boleh tak nak claim. You don't want to claim capital allowance. It's deemed that you claim capital allowance. Because when you claim capital allowance, your SI will be lower. Alright, so if you choose not to claim capital allowance, then SI will be higher. So SI higher means that you have a lot more income to be exempted. Right? So bila income exempted, banyak pula boleh declare dividend. So of course the government want to reduce how much exempt income tu. So it means that for you to get exempt income, CA must be claimed. Then only fair lah to everyone lah. Yeah. And then we have a public ruling 10/2012 that look into this Malaysian ship. So you boleh refer jugalah. So, but regard to the statutory income, you can compute the capital allowance. But if you have adjusted loss, all right. So because bila you tengok Malaysian ship ni, you can have several ships, right? So setiap satu ship tu you kena kira separately income dia. But later akan total up. But if one ship is having adjusted loss, so loss tu kena tolak dekat against the gross income in arriving to your statutory income. Right, so loss tu akan further reduce you punya adjusted statutory income. And then if you have any unabsorbed CA, and adjusted loss will not be allowed as a deduction against other income. So katalah macam normal, kalau you ada adjusted loss business, you boleh tolak against aggregate income. Betul tak? So katalah remember statutory income minus loss brought forward campur other income. Dapat aggregate income tolak current year loss. But here tak boleh lah. Kalau you ada current year loss tu tolak ke atas lagi in arriving to statutory income. Itu maksud dia you cannot any unabsorbed CA and adjusted loss will not be allowed as a deduction against other income. Yeah. So that's how with regard to the exempt income lah. Nak kira statutory income tu. Ya, betul. Ya. So you have many ship, for example ship 1, ship 2. So kira-kira so kadar loss akan tolak in arriving to statutory income. So dia akan tolak dua lah. Satu pada from adjusted income tolak CA. Kalau ada balancing charge ada lah. Adjusted income campur balancing charge, tolak capital allowance and then tolak adjusted loss. If any lah. Then come to your statutory income. Okay. So a separate account, section 54A3. Alright, it says that you must maintain a separate account for each of the income derived from each Malaysian ship. Capital allowance is deemed to be claimed, and that's why you must claim CA in deriving to the statutory income. Again lah, I mentioned earlier. Exempt income account. So once you dah compute what is your statutory income, so 100% of the SI will be exempted. So bila you dapat exempt income tu akan transfer pada exempt account. So from the exempt account ni kita akan declare dividend lah, which is exempt from tax. Yeah. For the purpose of paying dividend. Public ruling kata where there is more than one Malaysian ship, the business income derived from all ship is to be treated as a single source. So walaupun you ada banyak ship, alright, ship 1, ship 2, ship 3, you kena maintain account separately. Tapi bila nanti nak kira tax, you akan combine everything. Right? So that's how bila you combine tu, you akan nampak lah kalau ada satu ship ni loss, dan loss tu tolak kat sini. Right? So ada method dia lah macam mana nak kira dia. Alright, any adjusted loss can only be deducted against income exempt under section 54A. Okay. Okay, non-resident tax in respect of income derived from the outward shipment. Alright, that's why kita kata non-resident, kita tax you on income derived in Malaysia. So macam mana nak tahu derived is derived outward. Maknanya income, mana passenger or cargo keluar pada Malaysia. Then income is derived in Malaysia lah. In the case of non-resident person. Alright, so this one, whether for shipping and airline, dia sama. Yeah. And how to determine 5% method ataupun ratio certificate method. Non-resident ship or airline operators have the option to choose either method. So walaupun ada dua method, you boleh choose. You nak 5% ke nak ratio? But how choose? Of course, you kena buat dua-dua lah. Then whichever that give you the lower tax liability, you akan pakai yang tu lah. Right? However, this option is only given those who are resident in country where the ratio certificate are acceptable to the DG. Maknanya sekarang ni kalau you nak pakai ratio method, dia namanya ratio certificate method. So certificate ni maknanya dia kena the ship or either airlines ataupun sea transport tadi kan, dia kena keluarkan certificate. Alright, negara dia keluarkan certificate kata oh this ship ada certificate. Right? Bila ada certificate tu, baru you boleh pakai ratio certificate method. Kalau you tak ada certificate, mana you kena pakai 5% method. Yeah. And then, of course, the certificate must be acceptable lah by our Director General. Right? Kalau tak, you kena pakai the 5% method lah. Okay. Yeah. Yang ada certificate boleh choose 5% dengan certificate method. Kalau tak ada certificate, kena pakai 5% je lah. Nampak? So katalah you Qatar Airlines kan? Qatar Airlines mesti ada sertifikat daripada Qatar yang kata this ship ada sertifikat lah contohnya. Then only you boleh pakai certificate method tu. Alright. Now the 5% method. Macam mana nak kira? Dia senang je. 5% on gross world basis income. Tapi the income derived in Malaysia lah. Alright. Salah. 5% method. Okay. Tadi kita cakap kalau resident, kalau shipping exempted, kalau airlines taxable walaupun dia resident. So kalau dia pakai world scope basis, kalau dia resident kena pakai world scope basis. So sama ada dia pakai 5% ataupun certificate. Alright. So kalau pakai 5% on gross world income, so dia akan pakai gross revenue from Malaysian operation. But ini for non-resident lah kalau Malaysia operation. Ya. Darab dengan 5%. So gross revenue darab dengan 5%, so dapat whatever amount. Ada ke tak ni? Alright. So darab dengan 24% lah sebab it's a company. Ya. So it's very straightforward. Tapi situation lah. Alright. Under this method, CA is not deductible sebab dia ambil pada gross revenue. Alright. The 5% is on the gross income. Bukan on statutory income. Ya. Okay. What else? Ratio certificate method. Okay, ratio certificate method ni is senang je sebenarnya. Alright. So sebenarnya kita nak kira ratio. Ada dua ratio. Satu is macam mana nak come up with the adjusted income of the non-resident company. Satu lagi nak come up with the adjusted capital allowance. Okay, so if you look at the term here is that you kena ada, first is you have to produce a certificate issued by the revenue authority from their home country. So what's the formula untuk certificate method? Ialah adjusted income, adjusted world income or loss over gross world income from shipping airlines. Times by gross Malaysian income, you dapat Malaysian adjusted income. So I have actually come up with a different, not a different, sama je, tapi presentation dia, I akan buat gross Malaysian income, okay, over gross world income, right, darabkan dengan adjusted world income. Nampak tak? Sebab you nak dapatkan Malaysian adjusted income. So in other words, dia ni akan pakai, because this, dia pakai ratio kan. So you nak tengok ratio of you punya Malaysian income against world income. Right? So you punya Malaysian income tu over gross world income, then darabkan dengan world adjusted income. Right? So dapatlah Malaysian adjusted income. Logik tak? Sama je. I move gross Malaysian income tu over gross income, darabkan dengan adjusted income. Adjusted world income, dapatlah Malaysian adjusted income. Ratio dah panggil tu. Ratio tu actually Malaysian over gross, Malaysian income over gross. Nampak tak? Itu is the ratio. Darabkan dengan adjusted world income. Dia akan dapat sama je. Right? However, the gross income tu exclude kalau ada transshipment. Right? Income from transshipment where is a one ship or aircraft to another. or a ship to an aircraft or vice versa. So sometimes dia ada dia akan shipment tau daripada satu ship to another ship. So benda tu dia tak kira lah sebab that's transshipment. Right? So kalau ada transshipment, you exclude transshipment. You only gross income, tolak transshipment, also tolak casual call. So selalunya kena buat macam tu lah. You dapat gross income Malaysia, gross income tu tolak transshipment. Baru dapat benda ni, then only you divide by gross world income, daratkan dengan adjusted world income. Okay? So itu untuk adjusted Malaysian income lah. Adjusted income. Sama juga, you akan kena kira juga the capital allowance. Right? Under certificate method, sama je. Capital allowance dia akan ada, nampak? Dia punya formula dia total world capital allowance over, salah ni. Salah. Okay, sama. Betul. Total world capital allowance over gross world income, daratkan gross shipping from outward shipment from Malaysia. In other words, kita nak cakap apa? Gross outward Malaysia, gross income from Malaysia lah. Gross income Malaysia over gross world income, daratkan dengan world capital allowance. Ya, bukan, salah, terbalik. Kita ada Malaysian capital allowance over dengan gross world allowance. Nampak tak? You nak dapat portion tu Malaysia over gross. Malaysia over world. Daratkan dengan berapa world punya CA. So katalah contohnya sekarang ni, Malaysia 20, gross world punya 100. So Malaysia is 20%. So that's our ratio. So 20% of us daratkan dengan world punya capital allowance. Nampak tak? Tapi itu untuk capital allowance. Kalau nak tengok adjusted income, Malaysia punya income over world income, daratkan dengan world adjusted income. So make sense tak? So benda tu, that's why I lebih suka dia punya formula macam tu. Saya boleh buat kat sini. Tak boleh. Tak apalah. Okay? Nampak? So sekarang ni tadi you ada adjusted income. Dah dapat adjusted income, tolak capital allowance, ni akan dapat statutory income. Macam tu je certificate ni. Ya. Unabsorbed loss NCA can be carried forward against future profit. So this one okay. So that's all lah. Tu untuk sea and air transport. So the next one is that kalau you tengok you punya tutorial on shipping ni, tak nampak. Sea and air transport. Ni kan? Okay. You have shipping company, resident in Malaysia. So bila resident, you tahu dah benda tu exemption. Tapi bila exempted, you masih kena compute dia punya statutory income. Right? The company owns 2 ship that qualify for Malaysian ship status under 54A6. Mana 54A6 is the exemption lah. Alright? Details of the income expenditure of the company, you dapat adjusted income, adjusted loss from ship 1. Adjusted income from ship 2, capital allowance from ship 1, capital allowance for ship 2. Dividend income from Japan all remitted into Malaysia. Okay. So dividend income from Japan ni is taxable or not? So kenapa foreign? Taxable? Dia pada all remitted into Malaysia. Kenapa?
Sebab dia foreign.
So kalau foreign kenapa dia taxable?
Saya ingat tapi dia tax one kan? Dia dapat tax one kan?
Kalau foreign source, kalau tax one, foreign source is exempted. Ingat tak kita kata shipping ni apa dia punya basis of tax? Duk cakap mula-mula lagi tadi. Apa basis of taxation dia? Kalau resident company, income dia based on what? Itu non-resident. Betul.
Kalau Malaysia,
Kalau resident, bukan kalau Malaysia. Kalau resident company. Macam mana nak tax? Tax dia based on what? Tengok balik slide. Memanglah shipping. Dah shipping. No, soalan I dividend income dia. Shipping dia memanglah exempted. Dividend taxable ke exempted? Sebab?
sebab dia kan ada income.
Ah, Macam ni.